Welcome back to Panther Sports Zone. My name is Khalid Gray.
And I'm Kenneth Richardson.
And Kenneth, we have a lot of news today in the NBA world. We don't have too much Panther Sports Zone news as far as Panther athletics, but we do have a lot of updates. We do have a game against Mississippi Valley State that the women's played yesterday. Hope you guys were there. We took a dub, and we're going to get into that also. But to start off this show, how do you feel about the season of Panther Sports Zone right now and where PV Sports are right now?
Well, where PV Sports are right now, I mean, we're having a little shaky season for basketball. I mean, we're not hosting a good record right now, obviously, but it's definitely just a little bit of things that we can do to change around coming back to towards the end of the season. Women's basketball, obviously, I could say the same thing, but you know, there's obviously things that can be changed around. We have a fair number of games left, so they can obviously win a lot of those games. I mean, it's just really going good. I can definitely speak on track, how track is doing right now. Track is doing exceptional.
You're actually at the championship right now.
Exactly. So I'm saying they're doing very well. I mean, obviously we're speaking on them a lot, and those are showing like the things that they're doing, which is so amazing. I can obviously speak on soccer. I can speak on softball. I can speak on all the type of sports that have been playing good. So I mean, it's been really a great year so far for Prairie View Sports.
Yep, and we're gonna get right into the upcoming events and the upcoming athletics that are going to be taking place here at PV as well as outside as they take on other HBCU talent. Starting off, we're going to have a few events and competitions coming up that the Panthers will be partaking in. For the first couple of events, our women's and men's basketball teams will be in action tomorrow at 2:30 and 4 p.m. against the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff at the Baby Dome. Panther baseball will be taking on Jackson State Tigers in Vero Beach, Florida for the MLB Andre Dawson Classic, where they will continue their regular season and compete against other schools like Grambling in their pursuit for 2 wins. They played against Alabama A&M, a team that they dominated in the first round of the Cactus Jack Classic.
In softball news, the Prairie View A&M's women's softball team will be participating in the East Texas Commerce Lion Classic and will be playing against South Dakota at 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Then they are set to face against North Dakota State at the same times on Sunday. In track news, women's and men's track and field will be participating in the SWAC Indoor Championship over the weekend. This is where they will compete against the top ranks in SWAC against other HBCUs. We extend all of our support to our Panthers as they compete against various opponents. Go Panthers! Prairie View's women's basketball is in action Thursday, February 21st against the Mississippi Valley State at the Baby Dome, where they took the win, 57-50 at the end of regulation. The Panthers got off to a slow start, trailing Mississippi Valley State by 4 points at the end of the first quarter. The Panthers rallied back in the second quarter, scoring 15 points to cut the lead to 2 into going into half. Third quarter, they proved to be explosively offensively for the Panthers as they scored 20 points and outscored Mississippi Valley by 9 points. Key of the game was the offensive production from the bench, who scored 38 of the 57 Panthers points. Leaders of the game were Crystal Schultz, who had 19 points and 5 threes on the night. Nia Jordan also contributed 11 points and 5 rebounds, and Asha Thompson grabbed 12 rebounds, being a menace off the glass. The Prairie View Panthers are back in action to play the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, where they look to continue their momentum and extend their winning streak. Good luck on Saturday, Panthers.
Continuing on for Panther Sports Zone, we're going to go a little off of PV Sports, more into the NBA. San Antonio Spurs All-Star center Victor Wembanyama has suffered a blood clot, putting an end to his sophomore campaign in the NBA. The San Antonio Spurs, in a statement, said a form of a blood clot was discovered after Wembanyama returned to San Antonio after the All-Star game. ESPN's Shams Karina was told from sources Wembanyama started feeling symptomatic recently, but believed that he would feel better after 2 days following the All-Star game. When symptoms persisted, Wembanyama underwent a battery of tests that showed a clot. Chris Paul stated, "Tough more than anything, I think, for all of us, knowing how much he means to the game and how much he loves to play." However, San Antonio Spurs source told ESPN that the Spurs are optimistic that Wembanyama will make a full recovery by the beginning of the 2025-2026 NBA season. The 2023 Rookie of the Year was averaging 23.3 points, 11 rebounds, and 3.7 assists, leading the entire league in blocks in just 46 games. We're all hoping for the best for Wemby's recovery. Going into this topic, I mean, when we think about just how much happened in the NBA these past month, there's just, I mean, we're riddled with injuries, we're riddled with trades, we're riddled with really everything. You know, the All-Star game wasn't as what people had believed it would to be. G League player came back, Mac McClung, who we're all pretty familiar with, came back.
Are we surprised?
We're not surprised that he won, but he's the only player in NBA history to three-peat in a dunk contest. You know, and it's even brought in some buzz from players like Ja Morant, Zach LaVine, even Aaron Gordon has stated that he's a little too old to come back. But plenty of players are starting to come back and understand that the value of just the All-Star break. But with just how disappointing and the fan reaction to the All-Star break and the combination of injuries, because, you know, I'm a Dallas fan at least. So seeing AD go down, but also seeing Gafford, Lively, PJ Washington, and everybody else go down, and then seeing players like Wemby go down as well, and then seeing players like even for the Charlotte Hornets, you know, having Brandon Miller out. It's just a bunch of injuries riddled across the league. So my first question to you is, as it pertains to Victor Wembanyama's injury, how do you see the Spurs panning out the rest of the season?
Well, I'm not going to take away from what the Spurs have done this season. I mean, they've obviously worked them way. They are well over their win total from last year. I don't see this season not being I don't see them seeing this season as an unsuccessful season. I mean, obviously not even doubling your win total, but already passing your win total before the All-Star break, that is a great thing to do from the previous year, especially from a team like San Antonio, a lottery team. For them to have a player like Wemby, I mean, Wemby played exceptional this season.
More than exceptional. He's a generational player.
Literally, he was just a great player. Obviously, for this blood clot injury, he's facing an injury that Asar Thompson had faced last season. Obviously,
and even Brandon Ingram.
I mean,
Chris
a lot
Bosh.
of players. Yes, a lot of players have played with these injuries, and I hope it's nothing that's too serious to actually, you know, obviously you mentioned Chris Bosh, a player that's from Dallas, so like seeing him have to end his career so early for a blood clot injury like that, I wouldn't want that to happen to Wemby.
Exactly.
But I feel as for their season, they played exceptionally well this season. I mean, they can still make that push for their playing. I mean, you still have Chris Paul, you still have De'Aaron Fox. Stephen Castle has been playing an amazing rookie campaign. Devin Vassell has been playing really good. Keldon Johnson's obviously playing good. Jeremy Sohan. I mean, the Spurs have lots of pieces to come together to obviously make a push for the play-in.
Yeah, but one of the things that I kind of caught when you were mentioning those players, there's a lot of guards. Now, granted, Jeremy Sohan is a power forward. He's listed as a power forward, but he's going to have to play center. But when you think about the trade that they did with the multi-team trade, they got rid of a lot of backup bigs that were there as well. So just thinking about, because Chris Paul went out and said that you can't replace a player like Victor Wembanyama. You can't. The man was in his sophomore season looking to win both MVP and DPOY. Some my career stuff. If y'all know what we're talking about.
If you know.
So, but when we think about just how important that is, how important of a player Victor Wembanyama is, what do you think fans and people that watch the NBA as a product, or what do you think they're thinking about this league as of right now? Like, do you think viewership is going to go down because of something like this? Do you think, because we've seen Luka Doncic be out for a long period of time. We've also seen a lot of players go out for a long period of time as well, and people are starting to have a negative reaction to it. So what are your thoughts on the viewership and what's gonna happen from a fan perspective that bought a Victor Wembanyama jersey, bought tickets to go see Victor Wembanyama, and no longer will be able to see him for the next 40 games?
Well, you speak on how will viewership be. I mean, that's been a very big problem this year with the NBA. I mean, they're losing a lot of viewers because some of the games aren't accessible. Like, we have a lot of games that are on ESPN. Some games are on TNT. Some games are
on Max.
Like, there's a lot of games, but you also have to, with a lot of what plays the race now when it comes to viewership and trying to get so many views from different outlets of other sports that are going on at the same time. I think it just really gets to where the point is, how accessible is it? Can I use cable to watch this? Can I use regular TV? Can I use satellite? Or do I have to go buy a whole entire streaming service to enjoy the games? Do I have to go buy League Pass? Do I have to go buy these little things to? So I feel like viewership won't be a problem because, I mean, it's already been a problem in the NBA right now as currently as this season is going on. But I feel as with viewership for San Antonio, one thing Victor Wembanyama has done for the San Antonio Spurs is bring them back to life.
Yes.
I mean, the Spurs obviously haven't had a great season like how they're doing right now, probably since Kawhi Leonard has left, and that's been a long time. And I feel as they have their star. Not only does Victor Wembanyama like to play basketball, and he's obviously has shown us like this is what he wants to do. This isn't like he's not here to make friends. He's not here to play around, anything like that. He's here to win and win and keep winning and become a better player. What also that he has done is pour into the community of San Antonio. You'll see him going out in places and just really just seeing him like he's a regular person. So I feel as him pouring into more of the community, because San Antonio it's a very how San Antonio is. Yeah, and so I feel as with San Antonio and everything is how they're playing, I mean, it's going to be exceptional. I mean, they're still, like I said, they still have De'Aaron Fox, a great player. Let's not play about De'Aaron Fox. He's a great player.
Of course.
And you still have Chris Paul, obviously, leading the way. And what I can feel that Chris Paul will step up more as he always does is to step up as a leader.
Yes.
And he'll lead those plays. So I feel a lot of production for Stephen Castle's finna really get to it.
Of course.
I feel a lot of production from De'Aaron Fox is really finna get to it. And I feel like they can obviously lead their way. Like Chris Paul said, losing a guy that's averaging almost 4 blocks a game.
Yes.
It's kind of crazy. So it's gonna be hard to replace him, but I feel as viewership-wise, I mean, it won't come down, because obviously they had a good turnout last night when they played the Suns on TNT at
in Austin. That was in Austin. KD coming back to his alma mater, put on a show. I mean, obviously viewership is going to be up. So one of my last questions to you, and one of the biggest gaps in the league as of right now has been the DPOY race. Now that Victor is no longer in it, there's several players that come to mind now, right? You have people even spewing out Jaren Jackson rhetoric. You also have Lou Dort that has arisen as one of the candidates as well from many people that have said it. There's a lot of players that now have the chance to grasp that DPOY candidacy. You even have Dyson Daniels, who honestly I feel like
3 steals.
3 steals a game. I feel like, So who do you think, or what do you think is going to be of this DPOY race? Who do you think is going to grab it? Who do you think is going to take the masthead from Victor now that he's no longer being able to play?
Well, I mean, Wemby was a lock. He was a lock for DPOY. He was a lock. 4 blocks. You can get 4 blocks. You were top 5 in rebounding. You were top 15 in steals. He averaged almost 2 steals a game. He was 7 for 5, averaged 2 steals a game. Hey, dog, something wrong with you. But I can say now, for my DPOY race, I mean, you raise 3 good names. You raised
Jaren Jackson.
2 good
Dyson
names.
Daniels.
You raised 2 good names to me. Dyson Daniels.
I'm missing some people, I feel.
Yeah, you raised Dyson Daniels and Jaren Jackson. Now, I'm not going to agree with Lou Dort. I'm not going to think he's the best defender on their team. I'm going to say that's J-Dub. That's J-Dub.
Okay. Well, let's, we can have a dialogue about that.
We'll say that.
I'll let you finish your story.
But I can say J-Dub, but I can also say who has really shocked me the most, and it's because I watched them a lot, and that would be the Cleveland Cavaliers. Having 2 bigs in that paint. Now, I love Jared Allen. Jared Allen doing what he needs to do. But Evan Mobley, oh, my God.
You think he's a lock for DPOY?
I think it's between the race now, because they like to favor that award more to bigs.
Of course.
Now, Dyson Daniels plays a good way. 3 steals. People, I don't think y'all know how crazy. 3 steals a game
is
in
crazy.
82 games.
But I feel like you're missing 2 key players in this talk right now. They're twins. Come on. You got to talk about Amen and Asir Thompson.
I'm going to talk about
Let's talk about them really quick. Amen Thompson, honestly, when you think about just the caliber of player he is, and we're not going to ramble too long on it, but I do want to give these guys their flowers. They're both freak athletics. Like, they're freakish athletically, if that makes sense. I think I'm butchering the terminology, but you get what I'm saying. Amen and Asir Thompson are able to play. They're both 6'6", 6'7". They're built to play all 5. They're built to guard all 5 in a lot of different areas. We've seen Amen, being down to Houston in 45-minute drive to Houston, you can watch a Rockets game. But when you see how both of them play, they can both guard your best point guard. They can switch onto the big. They can do a lot of different things. So I feel like when we think about who is going to win this DPOY this year, I feel like we got to mention those 2 players.
I mean, I definitely can agree. I watch the Pistons. I mean, I'm a Pistons fan, dude. I love my Pistons. But I love watching the Asir Thompson game. I mean, he obviously is that missing piece. That's really a lot of people want to say about Cade, how he's been playing exceptionally this season, but he's really been those missing pieces. I can say him, Malik Beasley. Those have been missing pieces to make those teams good. So I will give him his props on how he's been playing. Now, do I think he's more of a DPOY? He can be in that. He could sneak up into that top 3 before the end of the year when we get awards finalized. But like I said, My top 3 right now, I'm gonna have to stand on it. I'm gonna go Evan Mobley, I'm gonna go Jaren Jackson,
Okay.
I'm gonna go Dyson Daniels. Those are 3 great defenders. I mean, you can switcheroo J-Dub and Dyson Daniels because they both are great
I
defenders.
wouldn't switch them up. I'd put Dyson over him, but continue.
But I mean, that's just me. So, I mean, even with Evan Mobley is averaging nearly 2 blocks and a steal per game. So, I mean, he's playing well. But Jaren Jackson Jr., I mean, he's played exceptional. With Ja missing a couple of games, I've seen this is my best season I've seen for him so far. He's played great scoring wise, is rebounding very well, been passing the ball a little bit more. Seeing him every now and then, look, 3-4 assists, okay, might put a little part on that. But it's just really good overall. But I mean, it's gonna be very. Is anybody's race to win now?
Of course.
So, Wemby's out, so I mean, just see how it's going to
Got to see how it is. But here at Panther Sports Zone, we're going to give you guys more analysis, more kind of sports talks we have across the board coming up next with our very own Joshua Fontenot and Cohen Parker, who's going to break down just how important those 3 games were at the Capture Check Classic last week. You know, we played against Alabama A&M, played against Southern, played against Texas Southern. We played against plenty of teams. So they're going to get into that in this upcoming episode of Across the Board. But this has been Panther Sports Zone.
Yes, it has. And I'm Kenneth Richardson. And Panthers fans, before we go, I just want to make sure that y'all are always supporting your Panthers. Any sport game, I mean, if it's tennis, I mean, if it's soccer, I mean, you know, I don't know it's a little cold outside right now. Y'all don't want to go outside, but if you can, show up, show out, and support your Panthers.
Of course. And my name is Khalid Gray, and what Kenneth Richardson has said, show out for these Panthers, but I'll let you outro yourself one more time, my bad.
And I'm Kenneth Richardson.
And we'll see you guys in the next episode of Panther Sports Zone.